Many entrepreneurs I see are burned out not because they're working too hard, but because they're creating nothing new. In this episode, I'm sharing the exact 5-part practice that I use to reconnect to my creativity. This boosts my business, restores my energy, and brings me back to life when I feel stuck. If you're constantly in go mode and need a reset that actually works, this is for you. Let's get into it. Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Sheila Botelho. I'm committed to help you reconnect to your purpose, elevate your well-being, and build your version of a happy, successful life. And today's episode is an invitation. An invitation for you not to hustle harder, not to check another box, but to tune in. To tune in to a part of you that might have been a little too quiet lately. Your creativity. We talk a lot on this podcast about self-care, business strategy, relationships, and honestly, creativity lives at the heart of all three. It's not just about painting or poetry. It's about how you problem solve, how you feel alive, and how you connect more deeply to yourself and others. So today's solo chat is really about creative rejuvenation. What it means, why it matters, and how to call it back, especially when life feels a bit too full. For me, creativity has always been part of the backdrop of my life, and sometimes the main event. So I grew up singing and performing. I would songwrite in journals and notebooks between classes and before bed, and sometimes early in the morning. And there were seasons where I'd play the guitar or piano just to feel something move through me. And then life got busy. Family, work, building a business, supporting others. You know how it goes. I never stopped being a creative person though. Yet, I stopped being actively a nurturer of that side of myself. Even so, music has always been there in the background. It found its way into our home, into my morning rituals, everywhere I drive, and into the energy I bring into the spaces that I lead. Honestly, I believe the high vibe, intentional music I listen to in the mornings has been part of what has shaped my success. It lifts my mood. It shifts my energy. It's influenced how I show up with my family, my team, and my clients. It's helped me heal. And it's also made space for new ideas in seasons where I've felt stuck. So today, I want to help you reconnect with your version of creativity. Whether you're an artist, a strategic thinker, or someone who's simply been in go mode for too long, this is for you. Let's get into something practical. This 5-part practice is one that you can revisit anytime you feel disconnected, uninspired, or just foggy. Each step supports your self-care, sparks new ideas in business, and strengthens the joy in your relationships. Let's begin. The first part of this practice is all about creative journaling. So in this prompt, I recommend that you set a timer for 10 minutes and start writing without editing. And here are 3 prompts to start with. What did I love creating as a child? Think about that. When you were a kid, what was that thing that lit you up? The thing that people had to tear you away from to come to dinner or to leave the house to go on an excursion? Think about your childhood. What was that thing for you? The next question, where in my life do I feel the most alive right now? And when you think about that, is it when you're actually creating something new in your work? Is it when you're sitting with the people you care about, having some heated dialogue about something you're passionate about? Is it when you're in the quiet moments in nature? And third question, if no one ever saw what I made, what would I create just for me? This isn't about making a plan. It's about seeing what rises. When you let your pen move freely, you reconnect to your inner wisdom and your creative voice. Now I'm going to talk about something called micro art moments. Let's think about this for a moment, okay? We overcomplicate creativity. So many people I know will say, I'm just not a creative person. And then I hear them sharing all the excuses of why they're not creative. And I think, wow, those are a lot of creative excuses sharing why you're not creative. You don't need a whole art studio. Sometimes a micro moment is enough. And this is what it could look like. Arranging your lunch plate in a beautiful way. Like think about when you go to a meal at a beautiful restaurant or a resort or something like that, and you say, whoa, it's so beautiful. I don't even want to eat this. It just looks too nice. Well, you have the ability to do that as well. And that means being a little bit more intentional when you're preparing your meals. Maybe it's just the kind of lunch break that you need. Another thing that it could look like is taking 10 minutes to sketch, even if it's messy. Like think back to high school art class, if you took it, or maybe just art class when you were in grade school. What were you doing? Were you finger painting? Were you drawing stick people? Like literally see what you could do even with a stick person. See what you could sketch. And another one is playing with color in your planner, in your Post-its or your closet, like rearranging your closet to be color coded, perhaps. Maybe that would light you up. Maybe you do that already. Using different Post-its that have different colors for different tasks. And if you're not a Post-it person, you can do what I do. I love to go into my Google Calendar and I have every event has a different color. And it's so easy for my eyes to see what's next and what energy to be in because there's a different color. And I almost make it the colors that I really enjoy. I really like to light a candle, play music, and jot down words in a way that feels rhythmic. I feel like that's a poem, even if it's only for me. The third piece of this practice is play breaks. Now, this is for my type A friends. Okay, play is not a reward. Please listen to me. It is actually a requirement for sustainable success. Play activates your parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and restore part of your body. And when we don't play, we burn out faster. So think about that. What's it worth to you to actually be able to feel better and not burn out? Throw a little play into your life. So think about what is play for you. It might be dancing in the kitchen. That's one of mine. I really love that. It could be playing a board game with a friend or your kids. Perhaps taking a walk with no destination. Just like, oh, I wonder what's around this bend. Or you could do what my husband and I have been doing lately when we go on our little drives every week to reconnect. We love having great conversation on our drives. We will just kind of get in the car and go and say, go left. I don't know. We've never been down that road. Let's go right. And it's amazing how within a 1 hour radius of where we live, we've been to so many new places. And it's felt very playful. And it's opened up our conversation in ways that we absolutely love. So whatever it is, do it without the goal of being productive. Just let yourself be off the clock, even for 10 minutes. Number 4 is creative dates with yourself or others. Now, I love this. This comes from Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. And I've found it powerful in both personal and business settings. So here's how you do it. Once a week, schedule a solo date to do something creative or exploratory. It could be a pottery class, a bookstore wander, or just trying a new recipe. That's one my family really wants me to do. And actually, my husband and I are going to get into that one, is trying some new recipes, because we get into a rut sometimes, right, with what we're eating. And it's simple. So you could do this with somebody, but it's very easy to do these things on your own as well. So you could invite someone into it and like plan a connection date that involves creating something together, whether it's vision boards or musical playlists that get you lit up. Or it could even be like, oh my goodness, we all need an angry playlist. Wouldn't you agree? Like just one of those things that when you're just having a moment, you need to just blast something super loud. Wouldn't it be fun to get together with someone and create some of these playlists? And then you could even do like co-working on a fun project. So if there's some kind of, it could be a work project, it could be some kind of family event or reunion or something that you're doing and doing it with someone. These dates are not frivolous. They actually spark so much connection, joy, and new ideas that fuel the rest of your life. And finally, the fifth part of this practice, innovation in the everyday. Now, this is where it becomes truly integrated. Creativity isn't something separate from your business. It's actually what makes it thrive. So, 3 more questions to ask yourself. 1, where am I doing things by rote, or meaning just out of habit, that I could infuse with more originality? Like, think about if you're driving to one place, say you drive to your office or you drive to a special event that happens on a regular basis, like brunch with a friend. Could you take a different route? Could you play a different music in the car when you're driving over there? Could you bike there instead? Second question, what systems need fresh energy? Think about your daily tasks where everything is just ingrained in you. You have your start of day things. You have your EOD where you're like closing things down, finalizing your schedule for the next day. What could you do in that system to make it feel more fresh? How could you streamline it, perhaps? And how could you make it more fun by maybe pouring yourself a cup of tea while you do it or putting on a song? See, there's always a musical element for me. Third question, what stories do I want to tell that I haven't yet? Ooh, that's a good one. Think about your everyday and the people that you spend time with and how meetings are like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour if you're lucky with one group where you have mandates you have to get through and specifics you need to do in order to move a project forward. And yet you've always wanted to ask somebody something about their personal life that is not too personal, of course, but just something about like, what did they love doing when they were a kid? And because you see them working, you see their creativity or you see something in them and you just wonder, I wonder what makes them do that so well. And hearing about who they were when they were younger, like, wouldn't that be interesting, right? So what stories do you want to tell about yourself that you haven't told yet? I've built programs, offers, and even my entire self-care app around questions like these. It's really not about more. It's about letting your true creative voice lead the way. So let's do something right now. Wherever you are, you can do this even while you're driving. Take a deep breath, place a hand on your heart, and now complete this sentence out loud or silently. Right now, my creativity is calling me to, and then see what comes up. Let that answer come for you. It might be really subtle. It might be unexpected. It might even feel just like a whisper. Write it down or make a note of it to write it down when you're not driving anymore. And even if you're not ready to act on it, honor it, because that's the beginning. This is really a beautiful practice to continue doing on a regular basis. And the season success method is a nice place to start to even get you moving towards this, because it's all about designing what your ideal future looks like and the way success looks for you. And having pleasure and creativity as part of the process is so important. It's not just about productivity. It's not just about strategy. It's about living in rhythm with your truest self and building your business and life from that place. If this episode stirred something in you, I want to invite you to say yes to your next season of expansion. Because a nourished person creates their most powerful work. It's all about rediscovering what lights you up, structuring it, bringing it to life, and understanding that the world needs your unique creative voice, whether it's expressed in a business offer, a healing conversation, or a song that no one else ever hears. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you spending this time with me and this time with yourself. I hope you feel a little bit more connected to you and to your spark. If this episode resonated, share it with a friend who could use a creative reset. Until next time, stay inspired, stay well, and trust your seasons. Big blessings.